Oleksandr Usyk, who defends his unified world heavyweight titles against Brit Daniel Dubois on Saturday, Andy. And of course, we will be bringing you live, exclusive and free commentary. Now, for more on this huge fight, we're joined by former unified cruiserweight and world heavyweight champion. It's a haymaker himself, David Haye. David, good morning.
Morning, David.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming on. Appreciate your time, David. This fight at the weekend, I mean, Usyk is a different level, but we see the record. You know, Dubois, he's won 18 out of 19. He must have a chance, yeah?
He has a huge chance. He's a heavyweight. He's young. He's fresh. He's big, and he packs a punch. Oleksandr Usyk, if you want to play the boxing game with him, try and have a slick boxing match, as Anthony Joshua tried to do on 2 occasions, you're going to come off second best. I definitely feel that Dubois' chance and big opportunity is to watch the Derek Chisora fight when he fought Usyk. Mm-hmm. What Derek Chisora did was he used what he has, and what that is his size. It's a good chin. It's just grind. He got close to Usyk, didn't want to play the long range game, get inside, ran the back of the head, in the kidneys, slowed down Usyk. So once there was a break in the action, Usyk's legs were slower. He wasn't able to dance rings around him. So if Dubois is willing to go through those first couple of rounds where he may get peppered, he may get dropped, he may get stung with those shots, don't let that put him in that Usyk zone, which is at the end of Usyk's punches. He wants to get close, get very physical very early. If he doesn't have a point deducted for infringing the rules at some point, I'm talking shots to the back of the head, low punches. He's got actors of his life depends on it. He's got 40,000 Ukrainians screaming for his demise. He's got to treat this like his life depends on it. Get out there, make this very rough, very tough, and throw clusters of punches. 1 or 2 shots at a time doesn't work. Ask Anthony Joshua. Ask Derek Chisora. What did Derek Chisora do? He won 5 of the rounds against Usyk on 2 of the judges' scorecards. He needs to understand it's not going to feel nice. It's going to feel very uncomfortable in there because Usyk is the master. But he's got to try to drown Usyk with his size, with his youth, with his strength. That's his shot. I believe Don Charles in his corner is the great guy. Don keeps it real. He's a straight talker. And he might say to him, as he's been peppered, maybe dropped, coming into the second, third round, you've got to keep the pressure on. Don't get into the boxing zone with Usyk. He'll box your head off all night. I believe he's got a shot. It's a small chance, but I believe he has the chance. And I believe this is his night.
And he's got the punch, David. He's got the punch. If he gets in there after him and really starts to pile pressure on, has he got the punch to finish it?
100% he's got the punch to do it. He's a very, very heavy-handed young man. But what I like about him, he throws punches in clusters. He throws 2 or 3 punches at a time. That's going to be needed. 1 shot at a time, trying to keep it too clean. No, he needs to pin Usyk against the ropes, step off and throw 5, 6, 7 punches, not be worried about gassing out. He's not going to win this fight on points. That's not going to happen. And he has to drag him into the uncomfortable heavyweight battle zone.
And obviously, look, that's from Daniel's perspective. So what would Usyk's plan be, do you think?
Keep it long. Use his superior boxing style. Whenever Dubois gets close, tie him up, let the referee break the action and find space in the ring, because anytime the bell rings for the end of the round, he would have won those. I can't see a version of reality where Dubois is outpointing Usyk. He hasn't shown anything in any fight prior. The only other southpaw he's fought was Kevin Lerena, and he was dropped heavily in the first round 3 times, who was a former cruiserweight. So if you want to keep the distance, it works very badly for Dubois. He has to get in close, rough up Usyk, because I don't believe Usyk believes this fight's going to be the hardest fight of his life. Just like he didn't think Chisora was. He thought Anthony Joshua would be and prepared for that long range battle. But I don't believe he likes it in close from a real heavyweight. And we have an opportunity to have all the heavyweight title belts finally in the UK, and all on the same promotional entity, which will make the unified #1 fight after Tyson Fury beats Ngannou in Saudi. He'll be able to come over very easy politically to make that fight, to unify all the belts, to have 1 champion in the heavyweight division. And on Saturday night, we have the opportunity of knowing that the next fight after this could be for all the belts. And it's a realistic proposition.
You mentioned it there, David. I mean, we're really looking forward to clearly Saturday, but you mentioned Fury's fight against Ngannou. You certainly sound as though you don't see any surprises there. What about Wilder AJ?
That could be if Anthony Joshua understands that trying this new boxing thing, like he tried against Usyk, failed twice. You know, he's tried it a couple of times. His last couple of fights had success. He won one on points. He knocked out. I like Anthony Joshua when he's in that middle range, when he's punching in clusters of punches, when he's got that spite, when he looks like he's trying to hurt you. He's a very imposing figure. He's massive. He's so powerful. I don't believe there's anybody physically as gifted as him. If he can try to develop a style that utilizes his physicality in a way where he's not taking silly shots and getting caught, he has the capabilities of beating anybody. But trying to keep it long, trying to have a jabbing match with Deontay Wilder is a bad thing. I used to spar with Wilder, and the only time I had success was whilst he was punching. So when he punched. Trying to wait for him to stop punching and then punch, which it looks like AJ's been doing. I didn't have that. He's a different fighter to me. He's taller, longer arms. But I had my success throwing clusters of punches whilst he was punching, because he is very wild. And if you're neat and tidy, you can punch when he's punching and have success. And being a big guy like Anthony Joshua is, all it takes is one or two shots in that battle zone to have success. But, you know, that's down to AJ to realize what works, what feels good, what doesn't feel good. But it's hard to have a blueprint to beat Deontay Wilder outside of doing what Tyson Fury did the second time round, particularly. First time round, he tried to box. He got a draw. Second time, he walked at Wilder and tried to impose himself and had tremendous success. Third time round, they both had massive success, both being dropped. But it showed that you have to bring it to Wilder. Trying to box along, it's a recipe to be knocked out. You may win rounds. He'll allow you to win rounds like he did against Ortiz. Ortiz was outboxing him easily. All he needs is one shot. You try and have a boxing match. He waits. Bam, it's over. Can Anthony Joshua fight for 12 rounds at a high pace without receiving one right hand on the button? I think it's a tough ask. So I think he's going to need to devise a style which allows him to get into range safely, land clusters, roll out, and box in spurts, but box clever, box with combination punching. But by friend combinations, I'm aware, he said in a few interviews, he doesn't want to just get hit with silly shots. No one's talking about that. He needs to devise a style which is useful, and he could practice that against the guys like Helenius. But he wanted to keep it very, very clean, very long, and wait for the perfect opportunity to land that one shot whilst Helenius was tired.
Excellent, David. Excellent, mate. Really appreciate your insight, mate. We're looking forward to the weekend.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.